Hello everyone, and thank you for coming back to Stampin' Up with Jaimielynn Lake and the Stampin' Sugarbeets. Today I'm going to show you how to make this tea bag holder card, and I have two different versions here. This one says just for you, and this is using the tea Shoppe set that's in the Mini Occasions catalog. It's also using the music note standard rolling stamp. But that's not what I'm going to show you today, because you can do the music note rolling stamp on your own. What I'm going to show you is this flower motif, the flower that comes with the tea Shoppe set. So let's get started. Oh, and let me show you. When you open the card, there is a tea bag, and then there's room for you to write your note, and then slip the tea bag inside and give it to someone special. I think this is perfect since Mother's Day is coming up for all the special ladies in your life. So you're going to start with a 4 by 12 inch sheet of paper, and from a 12 by 12 sheet of paper you can get 3 of these tea bag cards. The first thing you're going to do is take your scoreboard and score it at 4 inches and 8 inches. So now you have 3 equal squares. And then take your diagonal scoring plate, which I love. Make sure that the arrow is pointing up. And you're going to score the very last box from the top corner to the bottom corner. And that's going to give you your pocket. So now what you're going to do with that is you're going to cut off that last triangle. So excuse me a moment while I cut that off. And this is what you have. You have your 3 equal squares, and then the last square is a triangle. Take your bone folder and go ahead and pre-fold those scores. Okay, there you go. Now I've actually been using the Stampin' Up glue stick for this project, and it works really well, especially because you can just get right down on the bottom of that card and glue it down without going over. Of course, you can also use SNAIL and sticky strip, but I'm just trying to give my glue stick some love. So there's that, and you're going to glue just that bottom portion down, and now you have a little pocket. So now let's work on the decorative piece of your card. You're going to take a 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 piece of paper, and you know me, I like my corners rounded, so I've already pre-rounded these corners. I'm actually using the Naturals Ivory piece of paper. I don't know if you can see it, but it has little speckles in it. It's not quite Whisper White, and it's not quite very vanilla. It's somewhere in the middle, but it has these little cool speckles. I'm trying to show you, but anyhow, what you're going to do is you're going to take Crumb Cake, and you're going to take the flower motif, the flower stamp that comes in your tea Shoppe set. And what you're going to do is you're going to ink your stamp. And I do a diagonal kind of thing. So I go diagonal this way and diagonal this way and then this way, and I alternate. So you're going to ink up your stamp, and you're going to stamp the bottom corner one way and then stamp the other direction without re-inking your stamp. Then ink, stamp it the alternate way, and then back the other way without inking. So it kind of is going to give it this dark versus light design. You're basically making your own designer series paper, if you will. I think it gives it a really neat look, and it's kind of vintagey. The flower itself is really pretty. And then maybe just go back on the light spots and add a little blossom here or there. You basically just want to go around the edges. I just leave the bottom blank because my teacup's going to go there. Or you can go ahead and just add a few more if you like. So it's up to you and what you like. The last one I did just had it on the top and the left side. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. Now I've inked up my big teacup that comes in the tea Shoppe catalog, and I've already cut it out to save some time. This is in Pool Party, which is gorgeous, and it goes really well with the Crumb Cake. That teal and brown is really in right now. It's a very trendy pair of colors, and I wanted to show you a trick, because you know that we all love dual purpose things. So with this bird punch, this is the bird builder punch. Would you know that the inside of the teacup matches perfectly with the bird wing? So I'm just going to put that right in there and punch that out, and it'll be almost perfect. Check it out. That's awesome, because I know a lot of you are frustrated trying to get your scissors in there and cut around that inside part without getting the handle all squished and wrinkly. So another demonstrator showed me that, and I think it's an awesome trick. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so we have the background, and you're going to decorate that as you like. And then we have our big teacup. So I'm going to take some dimensionals. I usually just put one on each edge, and since it's a teacup, I'm going to put one on each side and then one on the bottom. I'm going to leave the handle free without any glue or adhesive. I'm going to go ahead and stick that down on my background. And then the last thing I did was, for my sentiment, I chose Just For You. Again, in the Shoppe catalog, there's also a small sentiment that says a cup of thanks, which I'll show you again at the end. But I took the polka dotted border and I stamped it and in early espresso. And then I took the pool party again and I stamped the sentiment, Just For You in pool party. And I'm going to take my modern label punch, which is really growing on me. It's becoming one of my favorite things. And I'm going to punch out my sentiment. So easy and quick. You really have no excuse to not use these coordinating products. And again, two dimensionals, one on each end. I'm going to pop that right on the top left corner. So you can see why it's not a big deal to get those flowers in every white spot covering every section, because you're going to cover it anyway. And it just kind of looks neat, kind of sporadic like that. So this is the decorative base of your card. We're going to come back to our original portion, and I'm going to use regular snail on the back of this to adhere to our card base. Really don't need that much, just enough to get it stuck on there. And the last thing I want to do for you is show you the inside. I'm going to take one of the teacups. Now look, in the Shoppe catalog, in the Shoppe Stamp Set, this stamp is in a row of 3, but what I've done is I've cut it. Since I have clear mount blocks, it's easy for me to line this back up if I want a row of 3, but I like to use it individually, so I cut them. I'm going to take my pool party ink, which is right here, and I want these teacups to kind of go lopsided from the inside, so I'm going to ink my stamp. I'm going to stamp one straight, and then one diagonal. You can tell that's kind of my style. Straight diagonal, straight diagonal. And the other one, oops, I want to make sure that that doesn't get on my paper, so I'm going to use a scratch piece underneath. And I'm going to stamp this one diagonal. There you go. So they just kind of look like they're toppling down. And then the last thing on the inside is the sentiment from the Shoppe. This is another one called, it says, You Suit Me to a T. So I'm going to ink that up, oops, in early espresso. It's a nice dark color. And I'm going to stamp it right at the bottom by my teacups. You Suit Me to a T. And that's it. I hope you like this one. This is a really neat one, and I'm really happy to share it with you. Let me grab my little tea bag. Stick it in there. This is a perfect gift. I'm sure somebody would love to receive that in the mail. I'll show you the music note one again, and here's that cup of thanks sentiment. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks again for tuning in. I really appreciate your comments and feedback and support. I really look forward to reading all of those. So thanks again, and I'll see you next time.